Okay, so welcome back to From Signal to Sales, where we've been talking about marketing activity that looks really strong, but you're finding that the qualified sales movement still remains unclear in your business. So today, let's get right to the bottom of things and really talk about how the report is not complete until it points to the next decision. And what this shows is that a report can be accurate and still fail the leadership conversation. It can show activity, it can show leads, it can show engagement and pipeline activity. But if leadership still asks, so what are you changing? The report has not done enough. The report has not done enough. And because of this, the value is not knowing what happened, the value is knowing what the data makes clear enough to decide on. So, do we act now? Do we diagnose further? Do we wait for more evidence? Do we escalate ownership? Or do we stop treating the same, or do we stop treating the wrong signal as progress? This is when reporting becomes very useful. So, not when it adds more numbers, but when it makes the next business decision harder to avoid. So, leadership needs the next decision, not another summary, right? So leadership doesn't need more explanation if the team still leaves without a decision. They need to know what the report is pointing to. Did buyer readiness improve? Did buyer move into stronger sales conversations? Did the same objection repeat? Did activity create movement or only more activity? So, and who owns that correction as well? And what changes before the next cycle? So, a summary says what happened, a useful report says what the signal is asking the team to do next. And sometimes the decision is to not do more, but sometimes the decision is to stop counting the wrong thing as progress. So, marketing qualified leads can increase while sales acceptance remains very weak. So engagement can improve while buyers still repeat the same objection. And then pipeline activity can exist while opportunity quality stays uneven. So if the report explains the performance but does not clarify what needs to change, the team leaves feeling informed but still carrying the same sales friction. So this is where an outside read can be useful when the team has the data, the sales, feedback, and meetings, but the pieces are not telling a clear enough story. So the next decision may not be another campaign. If those sales movement is weak, the answer is not more activity. More activity doesn't fix weak handoff. More activity doesn't fix a late proof. It does not fix loose qualification. More activity does not fix unclear ownership. The report should point to the real correction. It may be to fix that handoff, it may be to move proof earlier, it may be to tighten the qualification, it may mean that you need to change the follow up. So stop counting weak fit leads as progress and bring in someone who can change the cause. If the report cannot do that, the team may be creating activity while the same buyer friction keeps reaching sales. So that gap still needs an owner. So the report may show the gap, but the right owner can change the cause. And the right owner is not always one person. If the issue is handoff, sales and marketing may need to fix the transfer point together. If the issue is proof, marketing may need to move proof earlier and sales may need to reinforce it in the conversation. If the issue is qualification, leadership may need to reset what the team is allowed to count as progress. So if the issue is positioning or possibly offer clarity, the decision may need to happen above the campaign level. This is where performance conversations break. Even when everyone can see the issue, but the person who can change the cause is not in the room, or the people who need to change it are not aligned on what the cause is. And without that, the report names the problem, but does not change what happens next. So keep that in mind. So we've been talking about marketing activity is not the same as qualified sales movement. A signal only matters if the team can read what it says about buyer behavior, name the gap, assign the correction, and make the next decision clearer. If the signal does not change the next decision, it was only recorded. It was not read. And if your team has the reports, the sales feedback, and the meetings, but still cannot clearly say what needs to change next, that is where I would start the audit. I would look at the gap between the signal shows what sales is carrying and what decisions need to happen before the same friction repeats itself. So the real question here is, what is the signal telling you to change next?